Welcome back to the Rising HaVOC podcast. This is the official podcast of HaVOC Clan Gaming. I am Fenrir, and I'm here with our co-hosts Tank and Red Reaper, and our guest ET today.
I guess today we're going to dive into who we are as a clan. We're going to go through some origin stories, funniest moments gaming so far, and what listeners can expect from us.
And I hope you enjoy our first run of this podcast, and it's all, don't worry, open-minded. So it should work out just fine.
All
I
right.
hope so.
So, I'm going to ask ET this question. What was your first impression of the team overall?
Alrighty, welcome podcast. Nice to be here. Thank you guys for having me. And my first impression when Fenrir brought it up to me was, dude, that is a great idea. Everyone we got, all of our boys, just the chemistry, everything. I was like, yeah, this can go somewhere. This is a good idea. And Fenrir, Red Reaper, they've been, behind the scenes, putting all the stuff together, making this all stuff be able to happen. And this is just the beginning. This is just the beginning. So, dude, I was pumped. I was excited. I was ready. I was like, dude, let's go. Let's start this. Let's get it going. And I couldn't picture a better team, for sure.
You know, that's what we like to hear. We like the good feedback. We try our hardest.
All right.
It'll show.
So, we're going to kind of talk. So, the clan really started. We got the bright idea, I'd say, about a month and a half ago. I used to stream with a whole different other set of people, and life took the wrong turn, and so we decided to bring it back up here now. And the podcast was a thing that we wanted to start and have episodes on episodes to keep people entertained, keep people entwined into what we do, and overall have a good time. Fans can expect from the podcast lots of funny moments, lots of out-of-pocket moments, if I can say so. Personally, I think the podcast you guys are going to enjoy, and
We're very out of pocket.
oh yeah, yes we are.
We tank.
Mm-hmm. I'll say that. So
I'm gonna put this out there. There will be new episodes every Sunday and every Wednesday.
Right on.
Do you guys have any questions for our guest here?
Well, I wanted to know, how he came about as a gamer.
Alrighty, so growing up, my dad, he had a PC and he had a PlayStation. And, growing up in a small city, there's not much we got here to do outside of gaming or getting in trouble. So I chose the gaming route. And my stepdad, we would play together all the time. He'd make sure I had my homework done, boom, then we can game. And he would, he'd teach me everything along the lines because, he was an adult. He was pretty good at video games, and I was, a kid learning. And so, he had very good patience for, teaching a kid. And it's just stuck with me my whole life. Finally, at 10 years old, I got my own Xbox 360, man. And, I just started the gaming world of Halo, Call of Duty, and it's just always been my hobby. It's always been my escape from reality. Anytime you need a break, anytime, you just need some time to yourself, hop on that game and just, overall feel better. And it's definitely definitely always been a big part of my life. And to have a team that, shares those same feelings and can relate, and even the fans, to bring everyone together, us all, go through this adventure together. It's gonna be very entertaining, very good, for sure.
Very well said.
What are some visions that you have for the future through this?
All right, so let's see. I really want to focus on outside of gaming. Like, I want to, as a team, we're all on the same page of, communicating with our people, our fans, our guests, and, you know, making gaming more of a kind of like a group family kind of type thing. Everyone who is just starting listening to us, like from the beginning, like this is, you're going to grow with us. So you'll be able to hear it outside of our gaming, what we do, like day-to-day life. Every single person here has a different kind of job, different kind of life, different kind of personality. So to have everybody together, it's way better than watching your one favorite streamer. Like, you got a whole group of streamers together that can bring some pretty good entertainment.
Agreed. I mean, growing up, even watching your favorite people on YouTube and stuff, like you would always look up and be like, wow, I want to be them. And
Of
now we finally get the chance to be them.
Oh, big time.
Uh, I heard you talking about some of the games you started off on, like Call of Duty and Halo. How do you how do you feel about playing those? I mean, I know I grew up on them, but I
Yeah.
I only got to play them certain times with the boys when they brought their gaming consoles around. So, what was it like being able to
uh,
just hop on it and just go?
Oh, those were the gaming days. Back before online gaming it wasn't really popular at all. And more popular going over to your buddy's house and split screening the TV into four squares and having your buddies, all together playing. And now with how much technology and how much online gaming has grown, it's going to be amazing to almost maybe be able to recreate those moments we had as kids, but now with our boys, and we're all adults, so it's going to be much more different, much more entertaining, much more just overall, just just makes the gaming just way more enjoyable, I believe.
Well, if you look back in the day, gaming lobbies were not really the healthiest of people. Black
Ain't
Ops
that
2 lobbies. No, I heard some shit I probably shouldn't have when I was a kid. Learned
To
yeah.
words I
experience
shouldn't have.
that.
Learned a lot of words that
Yeah.
my grandma wouldn't have been proud of me saying.
Yeah,
So
definitely. I enjoy how much the gaming programs have been able to monetize, the voice chat and the abuse of words and everything, because there are a lot of still kids nowadays. Gaming is big now, so there's kids under 10 years old, hopping on the games, watching streamers, and yeah, when they act inappropriate, that's not enjoyable for everybody, and that's not what we are about. We're definitely about bringing enjoyment, entertainment to all ages across the board, and make it more of a positive thing rather than, oh, you want to just, be mean to other people because you're better than them. Like, no, you can totally encourage that player, and then boom, they can be better than you. Don't ever bring a player down, especially in the gaming world, because it could be your worst enemy if they get better than you. That's for sure.
that is a very fair point. No,
Always liked when people were nice in chat and giving pointers, helping out. I mean, if you're
Right.
working as a team and you are a team, I mean, the goal is to win a game, do an objective. I mean, y'all are in it together, so why jeopardize the end goal for just being rude to somebody just in spite?
Oh, definitely. Yeah, negativity
very
brings
fair point.
negativity. So, if you encourage your players, your teammates, everything, you guys will overall play better. But if, you got those negative Nancy's that just like, you know, bad mouthing and bringing people down, you might as well
Yeah,
just quit right there. You ain't going to win.
I guess
No,
the
to
morale's up, you
follow
know.
up with this though.
for sure. For sure.
Oh my goodness. Anybody else got any input on that?
Yeah, a little bit. I agree with being no negative because I remember, the swear words and the slurs flying, and that was just the times. But I've seen what people and kids see on TikTok and TV now, and I go, these kids nowadays are very attuned to swear words now because most of my cousins knew the swear words before I even did. And it's not good. I'm not saying it's good at all. I'm like, I don't think so, but monitoring it's great. But like, for example, I, they kind of went too far with it because they're a little too sensitive with certain words now. Like saying darn or damn, in my opinion, isn't bad and stuff. Because I grew up saying that all the time. Not to people, just if I got hurt or cut myself, I just say it. But like Call of Duty used to be great. Yes, it had its issues, but they kind of censored it, in my opinion, a little bit too much. And now, like with other games, they kind of just they pump them out too much, and they're way too sensitive now. A little bit too sensitive. Graphics are great, gameplay is great. More, I mean, you can connect to way more people now too. It's not just your local area, like you were saying about that, and you don't have to be in the same building anymore. But I'm just like, kind of destroys the value of the game when they just mass pump produce it every year. And like when we were kids, they made them once every couple of years, and it was value. And nowadays, it's like, well, there's Black Ops 6, oh, there's 7 next year, and then there's 8 and 9. I'm just like, well, there's no value in that because you're kind of just it destroys the franchise.
Now,
Agreed. Very much
Yeah,
agreed.
especially with the censoring part. I mean, a lot of the games I used to play growing up, granted, they were rated like let's say mature or something else that's higher than that. It's got blood, it's got gore, it's got nudity, whatever, language. And as a kid, your parents are supposed to be the ones that, dictate what you got and what you play and who you play with. I mean, they're supposed to be your safe haven. They're supposed to make sure you're good. So I would be subjected to games that were in my age range. So the guys that are older than me, that are 18 and above, they can go on their games. They can swear. They can do their thing because that's the age bracket for that game.
Yeah,
So
right.
the censoring for it is like too much because these kids are playing games they shouldn't be, and it's ruining it for those who are old enough to play it and want to play it in the sense of being themselves if they swear or if they don't.
like
Good examples. Oh, go
I
ahead.
grew up with GTA, a lot of it. GTA, Call of Duty lobbies. Back in the day, like when I was growing up, I couldn't play the GTA games till I was like 14, 15. And now, like I'll go on Twitch or Kick or something, TikTok, and there'll be kids that are like 8 or 9 that stream and are playing GTA 5 or GTA 4, uh, screaming at people in Call of Duty lobbies. And it's like if I did that back in the day, yeah, that would not have been the
Oh,
best.
another good one is God of War. Remember, everyone blamed God of War for its stuff, and the director's like, "It's not our fault. We rated the game. It's the parents. Don't yell at us. We just made the game." And now, ever since that happened, now they like Mortal Kombat. I give a lot of credit. They never got rid of their brutality like God of War did. God of War really tamed down the brutality and censored weight. And it's still a great game. The new games were great for story, but I'm like, I miss the brutality of God of War because that was his entire point of why I loved the games. And I was like 8, 9 when I played God of War, so I wasn't like that bad of an age. Because my dad didn't really care. My mom did, but he didn't really care. But my mom thought the old Doom was bad and graphic. I'm like, Mom, that game's from the '90s. I don't think that's anywhere near as graphic as nowadays. But God of War got to still a great game, good story, but they're an example of why you should not blame the company. You blame the parents. If it's rated, you don't blame the game because it ruined a lot of games in the future because they're like, well, you can't be violent anymore because this parent's gonna sue us now or something.
And that's also what I was saying. Like, it's also led into the graphics, it's led into how the game's even made and how the ending will turn out. I mean, it's all altered because of that.
Like the airport scene in Call of Duty, that where they shoot out the airport,
Yeah, they
they
have
can
to
never
ask
do that again
permission.
because people complain. I'm like, it's just a video game. Yes, it happens in real life, but welcome to real life. That's what happens. Can't control. It's a video game.
Playing that the first time and not understanding like what it was, and the person I was playing with was slaughtering people. I mean, they were
I
just
did.
like
Yeah.
slaughtering people, and I I remember seeing like the warning before we even started the mission, and it asks like if you are okay with seeing this, this is what this is. Like it gives you a warning.
The original one never did that because my copy, it doesn't even care. It's like, no, throw you in. Yeah, because I got the game when it first came out and stuff, and I was like, this. Well, I was not saying that you should show kids it, but with what kids see nowadays, I don't think they'd care.
Right.
It's
So
just what
demonetized.
parents would. They still shouldn't see
Right.
it though. I still don't think they should see it. It's not like you should show your kid that. I would say Call of Duty, the old Call of Duties, I think would be fine now because the graphics are, they're great, but compared to what they have now. But I don't know. I feel like game companies, like that's why I praise Mortal Kombat because they did not care. They went, we're gonna up the brutality as the next graphics get better, and they just don't care what parents think. It's rated for a reason. So
Exactly. If parents focused on, what their kids are playing, understanding what their kids are playing, like my parents, they really didn't care. They didn't understand. I shouldn't have been under 10 years old playing Grand Theft Auto. Experienced
yeah.
way too much negativity, that, probably caused some of my aggression as a kid because, hey, but anyways, yeah, but no, that's a good point. Definitely the games are rated for a reason. Parents should take that into effect based on their kids' age. Yeah, that's a given.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at the access kids have to the internet now. They can look up anything if they get a phone. And my cousin's like 6 and she already has an iPhone. I'm like, why did you give a 6-year-old an iphone? You get lost it
Yeah,
like 3 times already in public. So
Yeah,
I'm
I
like, I
couldn't
know there's
lose
a
my
tracker on
phone.
it, but I'm just like, yeah, I would say you shouldn't even get a phone until you're like at least. I didn't get mine until I was in 9th or 10th grade because I almost didn't want one because I hated social media. So I was like, I'm not gonna be involved with any. Now I have one, but I don't
Don't
know.
they make really like advanced devices for kid tracking specifically
Well,
for
iPhone has
parents who
the
are like out and
yeah
about?
yeah. My uncle
iPhone's
Nick
got
has
the
one. Yeah,
iMaps tracking now.
yep.
I was
My
gonna
uncle
say,
Nick uses
correct
it
me
for
if
his
I'm
kid.
wrong.
No, that's not wrong. But I'm like, if someone else gets that phone, your kid's gonna get sold. So that's pretty much
yikes.
the issue
All
with that is
right.
you got to be careful with who finds the phone.
ET, I have another question for you, my friend.
Alrighty,
So,
brother.
what's one thing people will not see behind the grind of the team, in your opinion?
They won't really understand like who we are as people, how we communicate outside of the gaming world. Like they'll see what we do during gaming, but who we are when we're not recording, who we are when we're not on these podcasts, the work we're putting in, the communication, we're very well communicated around. We have our everyone is connected, so we're all on the same page constantly, and the just how much we're going to be growing behind the scenes as a team and a group and a clan. I just really wish our community was able to see that, be a part of it, almost like we need our own TV show so they totally understand like the full picture of what we're trying to accomplish here and project. And just yeah, there's a real big picture than what we can
Yeah,
show them right now.
we're putting on a show, but we are also making it outlines and we're making behind the scenes and making sure the equipment's working, and I mean all that entails what we're doing, but it takes a lot, and to make sure the schedules line up, people are putting in effort.
Exactly. It's not just, it takes a lot. And to have just such great people all working together, just, yeah, they can expect to see a lot of great things, both on scene and off scene, for sure.
So, another question for you is how do you stay motivated while you're gaming?
And see, I don't take gaming too seriously because gaming is supposed to be my happy place, my escape, my yada yada yada. So when I game for enjoyment. And what I enjoy most gaming is with my buddies, with the clan, working together. So it's not just you playing by yourself, and you're just doing things on your own. You're engaged with people, you're socializing. We're bonding. Sharing the same emotions. All on the same page, completing missions together, and it's 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 beautiful, dude. It's beautiful.
So, what do you think people could expect out of us for the rest of the year?
They can expect, yeah, a lot of getting used to this whole project we're doing. It's going to be some bumps, ups and downs, but in the long run, it's going to work out. And so I just hope they expect, to see consistency. We said when we're going to be streaming, when we're going to be doing the podcast. We have it on our channel, we have it on our socials, in the store, wherever it's at, and we're going to stick to that. We're not going to say we're going to do something and then, oh, where'd our streamer go? Like, no, those days you can expect to see us there. You can expect to, grow with us, experience it all, together. They can expect a lot of teamwork and a lot of positivity, for sure.
Now, if you were to go to any game out of your whole entire life that you were gonna pick, what would be your number one game to go to?
Oh, this is going to be a very unpopular opinion, but it is Clash Royale. That game, I'm telling you, I started in middle school, and that's back when there was only, like 30 something cards or whatever, 60 or whatever it was. A lot less cards than there is today. And it's just one game. Yeah, I've even had Clash of Clans, but that game,
Clash
I
of Clans
fall
was
off a
always
lot.
my go-to. I never liked Clash Royale. In my opinion,
Oh,
wasn't good. In my opinion,
dude, I love strategy. I love everything that has to do with strategy. So with Clash Royale, it's you can reference it to chess because you have to give and take. You have to predict. You have to do a lot of more than just play your cards down. And that's the way I like to game. I like to learn from what I'm doing. I like to learn from my mistakes. I like to learn from people who are better than me. I like, you know, yeah, around that is just one game I've never ever deleted off of my phone. That game has been downloaded for the 9 years I've played the game. Like it has never left my phone, and so I'll have to give it to Clash Royale. Yeah.
Crazy. I remember that back in like middle school being really, really big.
when
Oh
that
right,
game
yeah, and
dropped,
especially
I played it. I think for about a year, and then I was like, I don't really like this. I'm gonna stick to my Clash of Clans. Like I play a lot of other games that Supercell makes, like Boom Beach, and then I used to play Heyday. Um,
right on.
but Clash of Clans
Heyday. Yes.
was one of the games for me. Um, if I really had to pick, if I was to pick a game that I could play at all times, I'd have to go original and probably go with the original Mario, the Super Mario Bros. Uh, game for the NES. That would probably be my go-to. I've played that so much, it's crazy.
Hey, right on. Yeah, a lot of it is the games we grew up on, and they just hold a special part. And the games we continue to play today, and the games we will play is because we have that. Every game has its own formula, and once we find a formula with the game we're comfortable with, all those other games that fit that formula, we revolve around. And so it's amazing you say it's such an old school game because it really reflects the games you play nowadays, for sure.
Yeah, the long journey it took. I mean, the first game ever made, like Mario wise. Oh my goodness, that was back in what? I don't even know.
The 80s when the first Mario came out. The middle of I think 86 or 85 or 4. It's the middle 80s when the first one came out.
We need a fact checker.
I'm getting there. I'm doing it. Okay,
wasn't a
so the
60%
first game Mario appeared in was Donkey Kong in 1981, where
Yes.
he was known as Jumpman.
Wow.
Donkey Kong was first, not Mario. That was they were together. My dad remembers all
First
that
game in
stuff.
Super Mario series, and the first to feature Mario as the main protagonist in his own game was Mario Bros. In 1983. And it also introduced Luigi.
Oh, they're both old.
Yeah, so the original, and look how far they come.
So
you know?
the first release in Japan, though, was in 1985 for the family computer in the
That was scrapped.
arcade.
Arcades back in the day were probably, they were money makers. You know, you had games like Mortal Kombat,
Oh, yeah.
Mario Kart, Duck Hunt.
Yeah, Ninja Turtles, the originals, Pac-Man, Tetris was very popular even back in the 80s. Well, it's around when it came out. Very expensive to maintain, though. Cost very expensive to maintain an arcade.
Yeah.
Electrical bills.
Power
high
bills
as
back
shit.
then without. Well, yeah, that's what I meant. They didn't have any efficient power supply back then, so the energy bill must have been through the roof back then.
And the fact that, there's not many arcades left.
It's okay.
Nowadays.
If you've ever watched Pixels, you know them kids were spending.
Oh yeah. They still made me. I mean, why do you think all the people that own the arcades are retired like millionaires by this point? I mean, a lot of them are probably gone now, but not millionaires. But they had enough money to retire just fine, and they could just sell the machines and make money off that too.
Look at the creator of Pac-Man. I mean, he just died, I think, recently.
Backtrack.
Yeah, they made a movie on Netflix of the guy who made Pac-Man. He saw it on a pizza shop in Japan because he was a New York. It was very like in the 50s when he got the idea, or 60s, but yeah, he got it from a half-eaten pizza slice. He's like, that looks like a game I can make out of that.
No, the creator of Pac-Man is still alive. He created Pac-Man in 1980.
He also has his own escort because Netflix did a movie on him. He has his own escort because he's an icon in Japan. So he has his own like Secret Service too. His wife,
dude.
yeah, but him and his wife used to bike even in their old age all the way to work. And Mrs. Pac-Man's based off of her, which nobody knew. And I'm like, well, it's common sense as his wife, so he based it off her, obviously. But
Cute.
He himself has a net worth of $10 million, but the franchise of Pac-Man has grossed an estimated $15 billion and sold over 90 million units worldwide.
You can pull that asset out pretty quick and be like, "Yep, I'm going to retire a billionaire now."
Beautiful.
It's such a classic too. Like if I go into an arcade like Dave and Buster's and there's like the big Pac-Man game, I'll sit there for hours and just play it.
Yeah, even on bar here we has the Pac-Man game.
Yeah, I was gonna say even my work has a Pac-Man game.
Well, he had a TV show when we were kids, with Pac-Man's Son or whatever it was called. It wasn't great, but it was interesting. They made a show all of these years later because he never had a show back then until now. I think he has his own movie now too, back in the 90s. But yeah, I'm surprised Tetris is still popular because they just had another world record on it break a few years ago. Like a 17-year-old broke the world record that's been held for like 30 years.
It's crazy how well known that game is. I mean, I reference it every time I'm packing luggage. I'm like, look at this. I packed it like Tetris.
Well, that and Pong were like the original games that first ever came out on consoles. My grandma Mocha remembered Pong when it first came out. And I'm like, yeah, tell us how old you are, Grandma. that was, well, my great-grandma's 95. She was born in the 30s, and she goes, well, the list of, I don't remember what she said, but the list of stuff she gave me for games they had back then, I'm like, yeah, you definitely were missing out, Grandma. But she's 95 and she knows how to use a computer, and I'm like, well, that surprises me that she at least tries.
Yeah, good for her.
The amount of people's phones I have to fix at work is insane. I should be having like a separate little business for it and getting paid.
90 cents per phone.
I would make bank.
Actually, we can do what the vet does and overcharge older people. If they got dementia, just be like, well, actually, I said 50, not 70 cents. Sorry. But,
and it's as simple as just restarting the phone, too.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
All right. So we're gonna start our lightning round here. It's where we ask you questions and you answer them how you feel. Right. So you already said your favorite game. So what would be your favorite console?
Favorite console, Xbox. For sure. First one, and it'll probably never change. For sure.
Have you ever rage quit from a game?
Yeah, Rainbow Six Siege. Playing by myself. Sometimes it was like ranked. It was like the fourth game, and I was even carrying the team, and we still lost. I was like, all right, yep, nope, done. Like I probably took a week break from that game. Yeah. Ooh,
So, what game has the most of your attention right now?
man, you already know that answer. Clash Royale. I'm really focusing on grinding that, pushing the ladder, pushing league, everything around that game. Coming to sweat on that game. So yeah, but other than that, console wise, let's say, we're probably Fortnite. I'd say I'm probably the most strongest on Fortnite.
All right. What would be your dream gaming setup?
Oh, dude, I'm telling you, I'm dude ET all the way. So, dude, if it was just space theme, like if I could have like my table, my chair, like my chair be like a planet, and my table be like just all black with like white sparkles on the inside for like light sparkles on the inside for stars, and like the planets and solar system all around, alien head drapes, everything, dude. Yep, all
That's
space.
sick.
So you brought up Siege. What would be your most played operator?
All right, so I'll say on offense, my most played would probably be Finka. I'm more of a support player when it comes to Siege because don't depend on me to carry, but I'm good on callouts, I'm good on healing, support, and droning for teammates, all those sorts of support. And then for defense, I like my smoke. I like smoke. I mean I like smoke, but of course I'm a support, so I'm normally rook. Make sure everyone's got an armor plate. You know, go TK someone if they didn't get their armor plate. Because what you doing? You take my armor plate. I'm being generous. I don't want the opposite team getting my armor plate. Come on, come on. So yeah.
Now, if you were to pick out of all the gaming genres there are, I believe I already know this answer, but what would you pick?
Genre. Yeah, definitely strategy based. Definitely. Yeah. There has to be. Yeah, like I don't know. Strategy is just so strong. Strategy is something that someone who doesn't use their head is probably never going to be able to break. And if you got your strategy and they get used to their strategy, you got to change your strategy. I just love strategy, dude. Any sort of strategy game, definitely my genre.
What's a game that you love but everybody else seems to hate?
Dude, but come on, how many times I gotta say Clash Royale on this thing, man? I'm telling you, I don't know. I don't know
I'm biased
nobody
here. I
in
never played it.
person.
So.
Nobody in person in real life that plays Clash Royale. I'm like the only one like ever that I know that plays Clash Royale. It's insane, and it's such an underrated game. But there's a lot of strategy and skill that comes to playing that game. But also, not to hate on Supercell or Clash Royale, they're that game is really pay to play, and that's the thing that sucks for new players or people who actually want to get into the game and enjoy it. Free to play, it's gonna take you a few years just to just build up one deck that is max level, and it's like that game, they're always nerfing and buffing cards. So one season your hand could be the best, next season your hand is completely trash, but those are the only cards you have upgraded. So now you're faced with under level cards against people with max cards, and then you lose hope of ever getting out of the area you're playing in, because it's literally impossible unless you pay. And that's just the one thing that Supercell I just wish would change so that people can enjoy and love that game again, instead of oh, here's Supercell, take my card so I can play your game. like oh yeah.
What's a game that you thought you'd love but ended up hating?
Hmm. 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 Shoot. Mm, that's a good question. I really don't go out of my way for games nowadays, but back when I did, I'd probably have to diss on Halo 4. I've played every Halo, and so when Halo 4
Yeah.
came out, I don't know what I was expecting. I was expecting just greatness, but no, the guns weren't all that. The abilities were just no. There's just nothing about Halo 4 that I was like, oh yeah, this is better than Halo Reach. You know, like I'd still choose
Halo
Halo Reach.
Reach is probably my all-time favorite out of the Halo franchise.
Exactly, dude. We definitely got to run up some Halo Reach with the team. You know that
When
on
uh, when I played the
Forge.
campaign there and Emil dies, I was a kid when I played it, dude. I cried. I was so upset. He was my
Oh,
favorite out of all of them.
dude, I know it. Oh,
In your opinion,
those
I
are the
bought it.
days.
It was horrible. So spent $50 on it at Walmart. I'm like, yep, not a great purchase.
So, has there ever been a game story that has made you get emotional about it, like you're living it with the game characters themselves?
Mm, mm. Yeah, gonna be corny, but probably GTA. They're pretty good at emotions in real life, like criminal things that I've always been that's entertaining to me. Just like that sort of like outside of being a normal person, like to pull off those acts that those just heists, those just everything. It's just that's just such a game that I could follow the campaign. I could probably start play every GTA's campaign from start to finish. Like I love their stories. I love their missions, all of it, dude.
All right. I have one question left in the lightning round. Have you ever had to stop playing a game because it was too scary?
Mm. Okay, yeah. As a kid, my dad bought Silent Hill, and
Oh no.
I was like, yeah, I'll try this out by myself, and yeah, probably 10 minutes into that game, and I was done. I was like, never am I ever playing that ever. Nope, I'm done. Yeah, that was a scary game, but then again, I was like 10, maybe 11, so. But other than that, you grew up after that point, so nothing else was really scarier than that.
Outcast was a scary game too. I played that when
Ah,
it
Outlast?
came out.
but
Or Outlast.
Outlast? Yeah. They're making a third or fourth one now, or a third one.
Yeah,
Because
I own.
they just made a multiplayer one. Now they're making a third one. But it's actually cool you brought up Silent Hill. They just remade that game or remastered it last year, or yeah, before it hit 2025, and a lot of people thought they were gonna ruin it because it's a classic game for when it came out or considered. But no, they just made it about 3 times worse than it was originally. Because
oh,
I just played that. I have never played Silent Hill, so I watched the old playthroughs, and I went, even if it looks old, to me it would be scary because it's just the atmosphere. You don't gonna have to have jump scares, and that's like
oh, big
with
time.
horror. For me, like horror games now, they're great. They're better because they focus more on atmosphere than they do jump scares. Because jump scares are cheap now. They're not. They don't get many people. And I'm just
Yeah,
like Silent Hill is just well, it's atmosphere too. But I never understood the story because they made movies on it too. But the
right.
movies weren't bad. But well, yeah, I don't know. I only saw one of the movies, but still, I remember the flying birds, and then I remember the intro. But that's all I remember. And I'm like, after that, I'm just like, yeah, I'll wait till I'll probably play the original before I play the new one. Looked way worse. Well, it's all
No.
remastered too anyway,
I'm a
but
little scaredy cat, so FNAF. Anything jump scare wise, I would
oh,
rather cry and go into a corner and curl up into
that
a
game was scary
ball.
though.
But that's also, I was like 12 playing that game. I was a little wussy,
I
but
own all of them.
still.
Oh, they're on VR now. Don't forget.
I own
FNAF
all of
VR.
them, and I still get jump scared from it.
Ow.
Don't
The only one
expect
that
it.
scares me is the VR because I got Help Wanted in 1 and 2 on VR, and those are still scary. The first one isn't if you played it enough, but the second one they added a bunch. I think they added more of the other games. I know they should. I would say for VR investment, like for that, FNAF was worth it because it gives you replayability. Because VR to me right now has no market for anything right now.
If I had to play VR FNAF, I would probably just die on the spot.
YouTube video idea: make Red Reaper play FNAF VR.
I played it drunk before, and when you're drunk, it just makes you really angry at them when you want to punch them, but you can't because you're in VR. Right though, they'll just kill you though. It's very realistic. I would say though, they did a very good job making them look very real in VR. Like they're 3 times bigger than you, and just like how the movie did, they're like life size, and the sounds are actually great. So I was like, for only putting it, they only put I think like 100,000 or I think 200,000 into that game to make it, which is still a lot for a VR game. But I've compared that with what we get with VR now, I'm just like, yeah, VR could do a little bit better, but there's no for it anymore.
Be screaming my head off if I seen one of them animatronics coming at me and they were like
Foxy.
2 times the size of me.
Yeah,
Screw
Foxy went
that.
down the hall. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I don't know what I would do in that instant.
Outlast is VR now too.
Take that set off.
You never would see me play a horror game in VR. Never.
Yeah.
They're worth it. They're if you want to sober up quick, that's one thing to do it. I've done it.
My VR, I play Beat Saber. Beat Saber and Among Us. That's about it.
Got banned.
That sounds great.
Yeah, Tank's banned on Among Us on computer.
Yeah, I said some things. So yeah, I wear.
Great example, Tank. Great example.
Yeah, I wear it with.
Yeah,
pride.
he didn't watch his tone, and they were like, "Yeah, you're indefinitely banned, my friend." And he's like, "Oh,
I'm 20.
I'm banned."
Yeah, I can't tell a 23-year-old to watch their tone. I'm like, yeah, I'm good. I'll just play something else.
Yeah, but you gotta remember, we got children in the lobbies, so.
Yeah, they also have access to TikToks. I think they're fine. I know.
So
I was a 12-year-old that did it though too, because there was an adult screaming at me.
I have a quick question. What is some games that you would want to see us all play as a team themselves?
Definitely Halo Reach. That we definitely gotta bring back that. Yeah, we definitely gotta boost that. Some Forge, because we can get crazy creative on that. We can build our own air bases, air ramps. Like we could play our own games of golf.
Skywars and Halo.
Dude, literally, we could get big for sure on that. So I definitely would love to see us get playing that. One of my long lost hopes and dreams of creating a HaVOC clan in Clash Royale, but maybe someday.
I'll
Maybe
look
someday.
into it. I'll
And,
give you the benefit of the doubt. I'll look into it. We'll see what it. We'll see if I'll play
I got
it.
ideas of who we can bomb, so that's a good one right there.
Anyone else got any questions for our guest here?
I do. I have the most randomest question, and it's gonna be the greatest one you're asked tonight.
Oh, great! I'm ready.
So, which planet in the solar system would be the size of a Minecraft world if it were real?
Earth. I'm not sure on that question. That's a very good question.
But you could make the worlds bigger, like you can make the grid bigger. So like on a Minecraft world, like how big?
I get you. Definitely Mars or Jupiter. Definitely.
Mars or Jupiter? Okay.
Yes, those are definitely two very, very good planets of interest that I believe all of us should look into. They hold mysteries. If you do your research on those planets, I'm telling you, I know all about. No, I'm not saying I know everything, but I've done my research on a lot of space, a lot of ancient history, a lot of civilizations, a lot of monuments and monoglyph or pictograph. I'm sorry. I'm just fumbling my words here, but yeah, yep, definitely. I love all of that.
See, I knew you would be interested in that one because you mentioned earlier about your love for space and extraterrestrial.
Oh, big time.
Pluto's still a planet in my book, by the way, too. I don't know why Mercury's not is like the size of a moon, so I don't know why they didn't kick that one out and make Pluto a planet again. But
Yeah.
Because they say Mercury's special.
Mercury's.
Mhm.
I don't even know how Mercury's sitting there. It's getting a permanent tan that close to the sun. So
They just don't want our attention on Jupiter, so they can do whatever they want with that planet. Yeah.
I'd be like, hey, I've heard the sounds from those planets when you can look up like what they sound like when they hear it. I'm just like, yeah, this is why I'm just staying on Earth. I don't care. I mean, space is great. I don't mind exploring it. The only thing like with Mars, I'm like, I wouldn't waste any tax dollars on terraforming. I'd just be like, let's just mine it for resources and research it. We don't need to terraform any of our planets. We already have a planet right here, just fine.
Yes, brother. I totally wish we could totally work together and stay on this planet, but this planet is doomed for destruction. So therefore, we're
They've
just
been saying that for 1 million years. Every single generation of man has said Earth is gonna die. I'm like, well, till the day it dies, I don't care about Mars. It'll be cool to go there. Not saying it would be cool to go to a resort there, but that's for the elites apparently now, because they're like,
Oh,
yeah, we
that is the
charge.
truth.
That's why I love like Star Trek. I love if that was real, but I'm also just like, for me, I feel like there's like a caution zone where if we push too much into that, it might have some consequences that we don't know. That's the only thing that I think about is they don't think of consequences. Because we could do something on Mars that might break something apart by accident that we didn't know. They're scared to mine on the moon because it might fracture the moon because it's a giant rock pretty much. So it has a core and everything, but still I'm just like, well, you spent on the money going to space, you might as well do something with it.
I
Oh,
also
yeah.
have another question.
Alrighty.
So, what's the best piece of advice you've ever received in game?
In game. Best piece of advice. Okay, one thing that really sparked my interest in science was this one guy I was playing Siege with, and he was he was a funny character, but he was talking about science, and he said he was the Nikola Tesla of this generation, but with a smartphone, right? And so I'm like, okay, explain, what do you mean? And he told me that anti-gravity isn't actually anti-gravity. And I was like, what do you mean? And he said it is made up of electromagnetic energy and sound. And when you harness it, you can, reflect gravity in a way where pretty much how the aliens fly their saucers around our planet is a big old electromagnetic strip field that they just use their technology to ride around our planet, which defies our gravity because they are on a whole different wavelength than what we are. Yeah.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I see what he was saying.
Right. And so I was like, very, and so a lot of credit can be given to Ancient Aliens and their TV show and
We'll
series
say
they have.
glad too. And don't give too much credit away from humanity because I'm not an open-minded person with aliens, but I always say until I actually see it, I won't deny that there is because our galaxy is way too big to say that there's nothing else there.
Aliens.
But I'm not
Trust.
gonna. I'm also gonna be like, well, unless I actually see one on Earth, I do believe maybe they've been around Earth, but
Right.
everybody likes to take credit away from what humanity's built, and I always hated that because I'm like, well, we own Earth. It's our planet, not alien planet. So like
Right.
Bigfoot, big example. I had a friend that thought Bigfoot was an alien. I said, okay, I don't believe in Bigfoot. It had 50-50 on Bigfoot.
Urban legend, more
Well,
to say.
Bigfoot to me, at least, would just be me. I don't know. I personally think Bigfoot was just so it could have just been an experiment that fucked up because Russia experimented with a bunch of crap with people
That's
stuff.
what I believe right there for sure.
Same with the Yeti, because there was things that attacked campers in Siberia in the '60s, and it like skinned them alive. And I'm just like, yeah, okay, well, that I would think. Aliens, I think they're real, but I don't like the pyramid thing. I don't know. That to me, I'm like, we might not ever get a true answer to that in our lifetime, and that's why I just go. I'm just 50-50 on it. I'll say if they do prove it's aliens, okay, I believe it. But if they don't, I'm gonna just be 50-50 until they find it.
All right.
Try not to be a butthead about it. That's why I was like, I'm not.
Hey, no, we need the open-minded and we need the skepticism for sure, brother. I appreciate that. Everyone needs to hear both sides.
I still believe that they could exist. It would be cool if they were xenomorphs, though. At least they'd be cool aliens. But
But all right, this is the end of the podcast. So thank you for listening to Rising HaVOC. If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to follow the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and our stream on Twitch Fridays from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. and Saturdays from 8 p.m. to 3 a.m. Podcasts will be released every Sunday and Wednesday. I want to say thank you for ET for being here today, and thank you to my co-host Red Reaper and Tank for joining me today.
Thank you guys. It was beautiful, great time, and I hope you all have a great night.
Yeah, you too.